And you don't know, you don't know, you don't know how sad we are. Hey.
Put your car up in the air. Put your car up in the air.
Place your calling, WB. Get up, make every day count. Wake up, Belize. 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 Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice our opinion and place your calling, WB. Be yourself, see yourself, this is a show by people. Believe our hopes so to needless reason. Nobody feel left out, is the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution, yeah. Love, respect, unselfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes, WB. And all the things that will happen under God blue skies. And nothing make people get victimized. Let's work together for better, we got to unite. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice our opinion and place your calling, WB. Get up, make every day count. Don't waste it, people. Do your part, play a role, get where you need to. You can tune in for work or in your vehicle. If you got a problem, pick up the phone. Why wait? It's a time calling. It's a show with no matter even if you're at home. Just call in. WB. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice our opinion and place your calling, WB. Be yourself, see yourself, this is a show my people. Believe our hopes so to needless reason. Nobody feel left out, is the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution, yeah. Love, respect, unselfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes, WB. And all the things that must happen under God blue skies. And nothing that people get victimized. Let's work together for better, we got to unite. Belize, yeah. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice our opinion and place your calling, WB. Belize, wake up Belize. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up Belize, wake up Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up Belize, wake up Belize. Voice our opinion and place your calling. WB. Be yourself, see yourself, this is a show my people. Believe our hope, so to needless reason. Nobody feel left out, it's the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution, yeah, yeah, yeah. Love, respect, unselfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes, WB. And all the things that must be happen under God blue skies. And nothing make people get victimized. Let's work together for better, we got to unite. Wake up Belize, wake up Belize. Another day is here. Wake up Belize, wake up Belize. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up Belize, wake up Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up Belize, wake up Belize. Voice our opinion and place your calling. WB. Get up, make every day count. Don't waste it, people. Do your part, play your role, get where you need to. Look and tune in for work or in your vehicle. If you got a problem, pick up the phone. Why wait? It's a time calling. It's a show with no matter even if you're at home. Just call in. WB. Wake up Belize, wake up Belize. Another day is here. Wake up Belize, wake up Belize. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up Belize, wake up Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up Belize, wake up Belize. Voice our opinion and place your calling. WB. Be yourself, see yourself, this is a show my people. Believe our hope, so to needless reason. Nobody feel left out, it's the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution, yeah, yeah, yeah. Love, respect, unselfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes, WB. And all the things that must be happen under God blue skies. And nothing make people get victimized. Let's work together for better, we got to unite. Belize, yeah. Wake up Belize, wake up Belize. Another day is here. Wake up Belize, wake up Belize. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up Belize, wake up Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Belize, wake up Belize. Another day is here. Wake up Belize, we gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up Belize, everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up Belize, voice our opinion and place your calling. WB. Be yourself, this is a show by people. Believe our hopes so to needless reason. Nobody feel left out, it's the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution, yeah. Love, respect, unselfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes, WB. And all the things that must happen under God blue skies. And nothing make people get victimized. Let's work together for better, we got to unite. Wake up Belize, another day is here. Wake up Belize, we gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up Belize, everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up Belize, voice our opinion and place your calling. WB. Get up, make every day count. Don't waste it, people. Do your part, play a role, get where you need to. You can tune in for work or in your vehicle. If you got a problem, pick up the phone. Why wait? It's a time calling. It's a show with no matter even if you're at home. Just call in. WB. Wake up Belize. Another day is here. Wake up Belize.
All right, welcome. This is WUB, Wake Up Belize, Morning Vibes. It's a Thursday morning, the 13th day of August 2026. I'm Nuri Muhammad, and we welcome you to the program this morning. You know that we normally take a look at the weather, which is starting to clear up, and then we'll give you an update from our news center, and then we'll keep the phone lines open for the first half hour of our program, and then we have an interesting interview coming from our professor in California, Belizean Gale, and it should be interesting, and then we'll open the phone lines again after our conversation with her. So now we go to the Met Office. All right, please.
Good morning. Mainly fair weather is expected over the country, and in the 24-hour forecast, skies will be sunny with some cloudy spells today, then partly cloudy tonight. Showers or thunderstorms will be generally isolated for today, with a few more expected along some coastal areas tonight. Then high temperatures will reach around 89 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast, 94 inland, then 82 up in the hills. Low temperatures for tonight will reach around 80 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast, 74 inland, then 68 in the mountains. Winds over the open sea will be from the east to northeast at 5 to 15 knots, with sea conditions being light chop to choppy. Then high tides occur at 10:10 this morning and at 10:58 tonight. Low tides at 5:05 this evening, then at 4:44 tomorrow morning. The moon will rise at 6:24 this morning, then set at 7:12 this evening, while sunset is at 6:19 this evening and sunrise at 5:35 tomorrow morning. And now for the extended forecast. Mainly fair conditions with isolated showers or thunderstorms are expected on Friday, and then a few more are expected over the south for Friday night. And now for the sargassum update. There is a medium chance that a few more sargassum mats could drift ashore during the coming days, moderately impacting beaches across the country. And finally for the tropical weather outlook. At 3 a.m., Tropical Depression Cristobal was located near latitude 38.6 north, longitude 38.2 west, or about 610 miles west of the Azores. Cristobal was moving to the northeast at 16 miles per hour with maximum sustained winds of 35 miles per hour. Then there was Invest 92. Showers and thunderstorms are showing signs of organization associated with a tropical wave located about 1,000 miles east of the Lesser Antilles. This system has a high chance of becoming a tropical depression within the next couple of days, while the system moves westward across the central tropical Atlantic. Please note that neither of these systems pose any threat to Belize. And this has been this morning's weather report from the National Meteorological Service.
The first private radio in Belize since 1989. Creme FM presents the news. Informative, accurate, current information, local, regional, and international news, weather and sports. And now, the news.
The National Trade Union Congress of Belize, NTUCB, which comprises 11 member unions, is mobilizing against Belize Telemedia Limited's intended smart acquisition. On Friday, August 14, it has planned a Wear Black campaign. In a flyer, it calls on workers and Belizeans in general to stand together and express opposition to a monopoly. The Congress is demanding transparency and accountability and is saying no to what it describes as a risky decision. Those who join the campaign are asked to wear black and take a photo to share on social media with the hashtag #BlackoutBTL. Meanwhile, we have seen a letter from the Belize National Teachers Union which is addressed to school managers informing of its membership's intent to protest on Tuesday, August 18th, when Cabinet is set to meet to deliberate on the smart acquisition to arrive at a position. The letter states, quote, "Teachers from across the country will join hands with other union affiliate members in protest against the proposed acquisition of smart by the Belize Telemedia Limited, as well as other issues which have been mounting," end of quote. While the official cause of the Belize River Valley fish kill has not been finalized, Anthony Mai, the chief environmental officer, said the investigating team uncovered potential illegal activity. He revealed that so far, it appears that the 380-acre rice field north of Santander may not have obtained environmental clearance. The DOE says, the DOE does not have an application on record. If the runoff theory proves to be the cause of the fish kill, both Santander and the rice field may be at fault. Mai discusses the possible penalties.
So we, at least for our records, we don't have anything to show that the rice field has environmental clearance. We just obtained the contact information of the person that we believe owns this parcel of land. Again, we have to be very careful because we haven't obtained from the lands department the title to show that this person that we believe owns it really owns it. So I don't want to mention the person's name. But once we receive confirmation from the lands department that this is the title holder for that piece of land, he will be held accountable for clearing the activity without environmental clearance.
Is there any potential that there could be any other penalties or enforcement action under our regulations, not just for that rice farmer, but possibly for Santander as well?
Well, there is. We discussed that possibility, and again, we're in constant communication with our legal counsel, with our chief executive officer, and again, we had discussed the need to consult with the Attorney General's office in relation to the findings that we have, and then they will advise us how to proceed with regards to any punitive measures that we need to pursue.
Following the fish kill along the Belize River Valley, officially reported on August the 3rd, the Ministry of Health and Wellness, one of the entities collaborating with the Department of the Environment, continues to urge residents in the affected communities to abstain from consuming fish or aquatic resources from the from the area. John Bolton, the principal public health inspector, strongly advised the public not to drink untreated water or use it for cooking, food preparation, or domestic purposes until investigation and water quality testing are fully While the public water supply provided by BWS Limited remains safe and unaffected, residents relying on direct river water are advised to use alternative safe water resources for cooking and consumption to protect against potential health risk. Bowden said that the ministry will continue to assist with the investigation.
Well, the advisory that was issued by the Department of Environment was a joint advisory, which was made up of the different agencies that is responding to that, which includes the Ministry of Health. So we had actually put our input there in terms of the precautionary measures, for example, advising that the water should not be used for consumption or for food production. So we are still, as the rest of the team, we're still looking at to see whether there is the source to be found in terms of what really caused the issue. But the Ministry of Health continues to do testing, and that would be what we will be doing as we go along in regards to the team approach. So we continue to look out to see. One of our things that we are still looking at is the reduced oxygen in the water, and that has been one of the alarming situations there, where so many animals have died so far. And of course, we will continue to advise the public as to what measures needs to be taken if we see any risk that is associated with the results that we get from the water samples.
Last month, reports emerged that following a routine water quality test conducted last September at the Belize Central Prison, 2 of the 3 water sources at the facility yield unfavorable results. Despite these results, John Bowden, the principal public health inspector, confirmed that no health risks were reported by inmates due to water consumption or use. Still, samples were collected for retesting at the end of July of this year. Yesterday, Bowden confirmed to CREM/XTV that those results met WHO standards. Bowden explained that routine testing would still be carried out at the facility. He also revealed security concerns that needs to be addressed.
Okay, so we did conducted sampling on the 22nd of July, and so those samples were taken from different sites in the compound of the prison. And as per usual, what we would do is to sample the quality of the water, the drinking water that they have at the location. And what we found that the water was being treated now. We have all the water sources at the site is being treated. And so we don't have any issue anymore with the treatment of the water. So the water is all potable and able to be drank.
Okay, but routine testing will still occur, correct? And this is done everywhere?
Yes. What happened that what we will need to do, there are 2 things that we need to do. I think one of the challenges the officers have been having frequently is the access to the facility, and some of them are quite on the edge, especially in terms of who goes around the facility with them in terms of being in the midst of the prisoners, no? And sometimes it's just another prisoner who is taking them around, and they're really concerned about the safety. But notwithstanding that, what we will be doing is to have more frequent monitoring to ensure that the compliance is occurring as per usual, no? So we have the officers who go out on a monthly basis, and they go to different sanitary districts. That one is in in the western part of the Belize district, and so they will be gathering samples from the prison facility to ensure that sampling is conducted regularly and that the results are showing conformity with the World Health Standards.
Okay, and all these testings are done in country, correct?
Yes. We have our own lab in Belize City, and they would do the testing for us. So it's a matter once we receive the samples, it's within 24 hours that we have the results ready.
Owners of establishments in Belize City have recently complained on social media of poor tap water quality, explaining that water filters have had to be changed more frequently. We asked Bowden about it, and he explained that the ministry also tests to ensure that Belize Water Services, BWS, is supplying water that is safe for consumption. He said the issue of late has been caused by increased power outages. He said that such occurrences would cause the water sediments to stir and discolor the water, but assured that this does not make the water less pure.
Well, not because BWS is a provider means that we don't do any testing. We monitor them as well. And so whenever there's a breach in any of the parameters, we would notify to them that there needs to be corrective issues. Now, what you tend to get, and this is maybe what you've been seeing quite recently, because we have been having a lot of interruption in terms of the power lines. And so once you have the system brought to a halt and then it restarts, there's normally sediment suspended in the lines that you would need to remove before it becomes clear again. It's like stirring up the sediment that is in there now. So periodically we ask if we have had a situation where there was interrupted water supply, that if you get any discoloration or anything like that, that you need to run it. Well, it shouldn't be discoloration because it's not a rupture of the system. It's just because it had lack of electricity. And so you would have this settlement of sediments in it. But we do ask people to run it, and it should be an issue that does not take long to actually clear up. You just run it less than a minute and it should be okay, no? But it's sediments as a result of the treatment. The water has not lost its purity, no? So it has been treated water. It is still treated water. It's just the interruption which allows, the suspended solids in the water to reach the bottom, and then eventually it would then to the closest pipe where it is. You'd have those little. It's like calcium built up, no, from the treatment. So it's not water that is unsafe. You can shower with it. You can drink it. You can use it for any purpose in terms of food preparation or so.
And that's our news package for this morning, the 13th day of August 2026. There's more news coming up in the program that follows us. That is the Morning Stew. That comes around 12 o'clock this afternoon. There's another update at 3 o'clock and a full news broadcast at 5:15. This is all on CREM Radio. Here on XTV, we bring you the entire news package at 6 o'clock this evening. It's exactly 7 o'clock in our studio. We'll take a break, come back, and we'll start the conversation for this morning.
Informative, accurate, current information. CREM's newscast. Local, regional, and international news. Weather and sports.
Smart for everybody. Smart leading everything. Smart give you everything. Smart offer everything. Smart give you everything. North to the east and the south and the west. Smart are the best. Darling, double up my data and give me all the text. In fact, give me a plan for my family. Unlimited calls, so me like it. And smart make everybody feel happy. Bringing people together, me want it now. Smart got love for everybody. Me want my smart plan. Want it right now. Me want my smart plan. Want it right now. More bundles, data plan. Me want my smartphone, internet in my hand. Call me want my smart plan. Want it right now. Smart. Stay connected. Stay happy.
At Atlantic Bank, your convenience is our priority. Our contact center is designed to enhance your banking experience. With a wide range of customer service options, you save time and effort. You can easily call in to block or unblock your debit and credit cards, perform account inquiries, and access detailed card information. Whether you need assistance with online banking, merchant support, or general inquiries, our team is ready to help. For added convenience, if all operators are busy, you can leave your number and an operator will return your call as soon as possible to ensure you receive the support you need. Depending on your transaction type, we may need to verify your identity through a set of security questions. And remember, Atlantic Bank will never request your username or password for Atlantic Online via phone call, text, or email, ensuring your personal information remains safe and secure. Our support team is available Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. in both English and Spanish. Simply dial 223-1212. This is a dedicated line for our contact center. Atlantic Bank is committed to providing you with exceptional service and the tools you need to manage your finances conveniently and securely. Take full advantage of our easy-to-use contact center services today.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Amandala is now online. You can now access Amandala's midweek and weekend issues online by logging on to our website at amandala.com.bz/news and joining our membership portal today. There's 5 easy steps to get unlimited access to weekly e-paper, archive publications, and a host of other exclusive contents. Number 1, go to Amandala's website. Number 2, navigate to subscribed areas. Number 3, choose a membership level. Number 4, check out using our secured portal. Number 5, log into the members only section. Telephone numbers 501-280-4703 or 202-4477. Fax us at 501-222-4702, or you could email at amandalapress@yahoo.com or amandalapress@gmail.com. Amandala, all power to the people.
Welcome back. This is WUB, Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. It's a Thursday morning, and our phone lines are now open. 280-5848. You can call and you could press your particular point this morning. As I said, after 2 cents cam, we do have a professor, a Belizean, that will be talking to us about some other issues. But we know what is on the front burner now, the acquisition, the possibility of a major strike or protest, a call for citizens to protest this Friday with wearing symbolic black shirts. Black Friday, they're calling it. And I guess they associate black with sadness or badness. We used to say black is beautiful, but anyway, this Friday, Black Friday, and it is a call to say to the government and to BTL that you need to wheel and come again, because people do not approve. The sentiment is that people do not approve of what has been explained to them of what the benefits are for this acquisition. It's clearly not a pill that people want to swallow. Anyway, our number here is 280-5848, 280-5848. There is this background discussion about Starlink, or what is it called? Starlink, this Elon Musk satellite that is capable of providing access to where you want to talk to, who you want to talk to, whether local or foreign, for a very reasonable price that would put our own local providers in a real serious situation, because what we are paying for now, according to the propaganda from Starlink, we would be paying far less. And we would not be having data issue of, I don't have enough data to reach this place or that place. I'm not able to access because I'm in certain dead areas. This satellite, apparently, according to the propaganda, would be able to give you access anywhere. So in the background of this concern is that Starlink is coming, and that all we are doing now in terms of government is to limit it to extremely difficult areas that the present providers cannot give access to. If you're deep into the jungle, this Starlink apparently will be able to give you immediate access as if you're in Belize City, for example. So that apparently is the background as to why there needs to be some reconfiguration of the providers. And BTL is trying through its chairman and a whole cabal of other government entities. I'm saying government entities because what is being revealed to us is that government has a strong influence in appointing those for the Social Security Board and the PUC, and those are the main players along with BTL that is supporting this acquisition. Our number here is 280-5848, 280-5848. Let's hear what you think about it. Or there are other issues, clearly. This matter of the fish kill still has not been resolved. It's been noted since the early part of August. August 3rd, apparently, is when it was officially presented to the media. I'm sure people were watching it even before that official announcement. But it's been now 3 weeks. And for some reason, there is a due diligence going on, but it's taking a very long time before we finally say, guess what? Santander and this 380 acres of rice production, which rumors are saying belongs to the Mennonites. And by the way, I understand that it was the cultivation and the land clearing that took place in the area of the coastal road by the Mennonite that created that flooding situation. And that in fact, they cleared an area that even the environmentalists are saying should not have been cleared. And so that brings another question about how are we dealing with the Mennonites? We know that they have been a main corporate citizen, providing food, providing furniture. Now they're gone in a car, spare parts, cell phone. I mean, those who are my age can remember when the Mennonite came here, and they were a very humble group, dirty fingernail. They go house to house, they sell their little small products, and wearing their overalls. And I'm talking in the 1950s when they first got to Belize, when Belize first allowed them in to do farming, and it was a very interesting community. If you want to get an idea of what they were 50, 60 years ago, you have to look at the group in Orange Walk, where that particular group there has maintained some of their early traditions, and I respect the Mennonites, by the way. I respect them because they are people who work very closely together. They keep their stuff indoors, so you can't really hear about any scandal or no serious crime or their children involved in gangs or teenage pregnancies. A lot of these things that we are affected by their culture and by their religious discipline, they have been able to avoid a lot of that. But people who observed them over the years are saying, well, no, fall asleep, because in the Spanish Lookout area, they have some of these same problems, not to the degree that we're seeing in Belize City, but they do have issues that they're dealing with. But whatever is their issue, they have become a major player in food production in Belize. They are a major player in the land clearing business. If you want to do serious land clearing, they have got some massive equipment that can go into your area and prepare your land for production very rapidly, compared to the old-time way that we have to go with hacksaw and chainsaw and then kind of thing, which is a very slow process. You're able, if you can afford, to bring them in, and they can prepare your land for production in a matter of weeks, when it would have perhaps taken months to do. So the Mennonites have become a major player. They are even now, with Mr. Penner a few years ago, advancing gradually into the political process, which they had stayed very far away from that. If you studied their history, they stayed very far away from getting involved in our Belizean political situation. But they are changing that, and Mr. Penner was one of the first to move into the political debate and coming out of their kind of clustered concern of just their own environment. So I am saying that the word out is that this 380 acres of land that is producing rice is owned by this group, and that they are doing that without environmental clearance. And that's only because we've discovered that particular area. But imagine other areas that they may be doing similar production that they may not have gotten the kind of clearance that is required from the environmental and from the other government agencies in order to do it. I have heard during the time of that massive flooding, which was kind of an embarrassment to the Ministry of Infrastructure Development, because they had just worked on that road. They had just paved and fixed that road, and it was in excellent shape. I'm talking about the coastal road, as it's called. And suddenly, because of that flood, that massive amount of water came in and basically, I don't want to say totally destroyed, but certainly sent MIDH back to try to do repairs in that area. Now, I don't know if officially the government went to the producers of that land clearing exercise and that they were doing in that coastal road area and basically tell them that, look, you have to pay for this. You are responsible for this. That didn't make the news. So we don't know if in the background officials did approach those owners of that production and say, listen, it's because of you that the roads that we've spent millions of dollars paving and preparing, we have to charge you for that. We don't know if that took place, but certainly if they did not do that, that should have been done. But the person who informed me said, look, we have to also go back to the Ministry of Natural Resources, because you cannot own those lands unless you get a clearance from the Ministry of Natural Resources, and that the Natural Resources Ministry should know where to give you land and give you some kind of understanding that certain things you could do in that land area and other things you're not permitted to do. So apparently the dots were not properly connected, and it took a flood, heavy rains, to realize that there was a mistake in allowing those people to clear land in that area that would have caused a flood. And when that news came out, the environmentalists were saying that this kind of violation is going on in different areas, and that it's not until we have a natural disaster that we're able to see that, guess what? These people were not supposed to be doing development in this area anyway. And I'm saying that because this fish kill is creating not only an environmental hazard, but it is also interfering with people's livelihood. People depend on fish coming out of the Belize River Valley area. I mean, people buy tuba and baka and all the fish that come out of this area. They look forward to being able to turn over their money by marketing the product that comes there. This is not only to mention people who live in the area and depend on that to feed their family. They depend on the water for consumption, for cleaning, and et cetera, et cetera. Now look what has happened as a result of this I would call it criminal, really. You know, if you're doing this for your economic benefit and you know to worry about what damages might be caused down the road, that's criminal. That requires you to have to, you should be paying for that, because you cause other people to be in danger because of your production or lack of due diligence when you're doing production. Man, you can't do any kind of production in Belize and not be concerned about the consequences. And there are a lot of our private sector companies that are like that. It's not until you catch them that you realize that they may get away with something that if something didn't happen, you would know that then they get away with it. And if you don't know that then they get away with it, you might be blaming yourself. You might be saying, because I heard earlier they were saying, we're looking to see if it's land clearing and we're looking to see if somebody in this area might have poisoned. No, man. Why we are blaming ourselves instead of looking at something huge like, Santander, who the sugar company, they were causing that fish kill in the Orange Walk, New River area. We remember that. And it's not until we went through a whole lot of things did they finally come out and say, yes, we're taking responsibility. Yes, welcome. Welcome, caller.
Yeah, morning, bro. Nuri.
Yeah, welcome, brother. please.
Thank you. And I'm a fisherman B, and then the government got rules for fish like size and the type. Some you can't take out, some you have to eat in a certain size.
Right.
And if they catch you with they broke the rule, and got some stiff penalty where fishes and drop on you. So I would suggest, if my suggestion could make any kind of effort, I mean, if it could make any kind of sense, that they should have gathered up all their fish there, brother. Go send in some boat and gather up all their fish and count them. Level and charge against who responsible, brother. So that then thing no reoccur, because in a range rock, me don't know if anybody held responsible for a truckload of fish when they lost take out of the river. Don't truckload, I tell you.
Yeah.
Back whole full.
Yeah.
And right now, if you go pick up any of these fish where they say one of the show on TV, they're only on the size most, and then that's only on the size thing already.
Exactly, my brother.
So I think the corporate were responsible should get big charge.
Yeah.
So they don't slip like this again.
Yes, man. I agree with you, brother. That's called reparatory justice. That's called the kind of justice that you could charge a man, say, you take up small conch, so you take up small lobster, the conch, and then you have to pay one big money for that. Well, then we should also go and pick up them fish there. And if we can determine that Santander or this
good for the goose, good for the goose, good for the gander.
Exactly, man. The same knife which stick the sheep supposed to stick the goat. You're not supposed to come hard on the local, and then because then our investors, well, we just want to spank their hand and give them a lease, something like that.
You see me? You see me, Natty?
Yeah.
That's the idea I want being crossed right now, and I think now a valid one, that then people need to held responsible, and we need to send some group of people in there, some boats.
Indeed.
And start at those some measurement.
Yeah.
And level and charge the fishes to get involved and level and charge against them. So this no real coverage.
You're right, my brother. I agree with you totally.
Thank you, B.
Indeed. And I mean, that goes for Ashcroft too and other big investors. And I'm not against investors. I mean, I believe that we should be courting investors and trying to bring them in to be partners in our development. But we can't go easy with them and say, oh, well, you could come in and destroy parts of our own ecosystem, but, well, we try hold on to, man, try to do better. No, man. And then we come hard on our own local people. That is not equal justice, and we need to be fair straight across the board. If we're not establishing equity, something is wrong. Something is terribly wrong. All right, we'll take the break for 2 cents Cam, and then we're coming back with Professor Williams from California.
All right, you're watching WUB. This is XTV. Big up to our sponsors, 4 Point Security. All right, and the two-cent question of the day where I want to find out from the Belizean name if they think cartel exists at Belize based on the type of crime we face each and every day in our country. So I'm going to find out the people in 2 cents and see if they know if any cartel exists at Belize. Let's go find out people in 2 cents. You think we have any cartel involved in some of the crime when they go inside of Belize? What do you think?
Oh, that's a big 2 cent question. That sounds like a $2,000 question. No sense doing that.
You think cartel at Belize?
Well, brother, I got the Belize and everything, then a cartel are the one where I know they are.
Yeah, because that's a question based on the type of crime that happen.
Well, crime being in Belize, but that's that we get rampant.
Okay.
Crime being in Belize, just that. It's the quality of crime now, that like when they go to school.
Okay. So,
cartel.
So you're 2 cents,
cartel of Belize, brother.
All right, good.
No,
based on the type of crime when it happen?
No, I don't think so.
All right, good. 2 cent question, you think cartel that I believe? What? You think cartel that I believe based on the type of crime when it happen?
I'm not sure. I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No.
All right, good. That you're 2 cents.
No.
All right. Please, miss?
I don't know.
You don't know? All right. That you're 2 cents. All right.
Every great job starts at Brothers Habet with the best supplies and the right support, including free delivery on site, so you can focus on the job. Brothers Habet, working with contractors since 1983.
Altoona is one of the most visited Mayan city up until lately. The adjacent communities have collaborated together to see how they can get a space here that the wood carvers could actually market and sell their product. Not having the POS machine in the past, we have lost a lot of sales. Atlantic Bank helped supported our business, giving us the opportunity to get the POS machine. Now with the POS machine, we are able to do more sales, and that will, also bring more, finance to our families.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Stay connected in the USA for as low as $10. With Smart Roaming Data Pass, staying connected is simple and affordable. Get the data you need starting at 1,000 megabytes to stay connected to larger plans that keep you online while you travel across the USA. So you can message, browse, video call, and navigate wherever you go. No SIM swap, no bill shock. Just simple, affordable pricing. Activate easily by dialing *100# using the Smart app or online. Smart Roaming Data Pass. Staying connected the smart way. Smart, bringing people together.
Before our grid reached across Belize, it was built by generations of Belizeans committed to connecting communities and powering progress. Through the hands, the dedication, and the vision of our people, the grid grew with Belize. A nation built through strength and resilience, and a network built pole by pole. Today, that responsibility continues, strengthened by every hand that follows. Each generation building on the last and carrying forward a shared responsibility, serving communities, powering schools, hospitals, businesses, and homes, supporting a nation that continues to grow. Belize Electricity Limited, built to serve, serving Belize.
Still squeezing your team into a tiny meeting room? It's time for an upgrade. Welcome to the Executive Conference Room, where business meets comfort and every event is set up for success. Your rental includes exclusive use of the venue, a podium, 2 wireless microphones, a 98-inch smart display, built-in speakers, dedicated high-speed internet, and all the tables and chairs you need. Whether you're hosting a meeting, seminar, workshop, or presentation, choose from banquet, cabaret, theater, U-shape, classroom, or boardroom seating to fit your event. Enjoy our executive meal and hors d'oeuvres options. Customize a menu to your preferences or choose from our a la carte selection. Beverages are available for purchase and corkage service is offered for outside beverages. Book your next event with Golden Bay Belize Hotel. Let us take care of the details while you focus on what matters most.
Catu's Trucking is the one place that can handle all your concrete mix needs. 50-pound sandbags, white sand, sand and gravel, river sand, black dirt, clay and landfill, washed white sand, concrete mix and limestone. We also do land clearing, road construction, and excavation. For all your building and home projects, visit us at mile 14 on the Philip Golson Highway. Call or WhatsApp at 673-1118, 671-9199, or 661-5863. We're open Mondays to Saturdays. Our prices are so good you can't get a better deal anywhere. Catu's Trucking, where we do things right.
As a sheetrock installer for decor construction, I know the job is only as good as the materials I use. Using inferior products can lead to more waste, weak core integrity, sagging, and more time fixing the problems instead of finishing the job right. And that's why I trust USG Drywall, Plysem and base screws from Venice because quality is savings.
Quality is savings at Benny's. Best for you and best for me. At Benny's, it's the quality. Benny's, quality and savings.
You're up against some tough challenges, but not all heavy-duty lubricants can handle the pressure. Until now, introducing Ridgeline Lubricants, a homegrown solution engineered right here to solve the hurdles you face every day. Backed by experts who understand the ups and downs of where you're operating and what's at stake. Specially formulated to protect your equipment so you can push past grueling hours, heavy loads, and harsh conditions to reach for greater productivity. Ridgeline Lubricants. Long live your equipment.
Hello, Belize. If you're looking for the perfect home air conditioner, then listen up. First, choose the right tonnage. Correct sizing means perfect cooling and much lower electricity bills. Now, look for efficiency. GREE uses AI-driven performance to optimize cooling and fight high energy costs. Lastly, don't just cool your air. Clean it. Demand health-focused air treatment and smart connected features. Get the global leader in smart home comfort. Contact us today to find your perfect GREE AC.
Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. I want to say a few things about our guest as she gets hooked up to deal with us this morning. She's been on our show several times in the past talking about immigration issues. She's Sharon Williams. She's a Belizean American attorney and educator who has been publicly critical of the United States/Belize safe third country arrangement, of which we will be talking about this morning. She was born and raised in Belize and is of Garifuna heritage. Her family later migrated to the New York area. She has maintained strong connections to Belize and to the Garifuna communities across Belize, Honduras, Guatemala, and Nicaragua. Ms. Williams has a substantial academic and professional background. She earned a bachelor's degree from Hunter's College, City University of New York, a law degree from Fordham University School of Law, and a master's degree from Holy Names University. She is also associated with the Doctor of Education in Educational Leadership program at San Francisco State University, where the university has listed her as a member of the cohort 18. Professionally, she has worked as an attorney in the United States with experience in immigration law, bankruptcy, and plaintiff side asbestos litigation. Her immigration law background is particularly relevant to this discussion that we're going to have today because she is very critical of the safe third country arrangement that the United States has with developing countries such as Belize. In 2013, she shifted much of her professional focus towards education, teaching children from transitional kindergarten through the 8th grade. She describes her education as part of her family tradition and has pursued educational leadership as another major part of her career. Ms. Williams is also a writer and a spoken word poet, performing under the name Gary Woman Poet. Her work deals heavily with Garifuna identity, African descended peoples, migration, race, colonialism, and the African diaspora. Her poetry has been performed internationally, including in the United States, Belize, Kenya, Tanzania, South Africa, and Japan. She has also published poetry chapbooks and has been involved in writing about the African diaspora. She speaks English, Garifuna, and Spanish with some ability to speak Swahili and French. A small part of her work has been to be on our, she's with us? All right, she's been with us in the past talking about immigration issues. If you remember a few years ago when there was a big stir about what would have happened with this new immigration policy of Mr. Trump's administration, she was on giving information to Belizeans who were very concerned, particularly those in the diaspora. She's now with us and we welcome you. Welcome, sister.
I've been struggling with my technology, but I think I finally got it through.
I see.
Are you all able to hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you great, and I can see you also. And no worry about that technology thing. That's my issue also. Yeah. welcome. First of all, thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. I know that you have a lot of work to do today, so let me jump directly into what we were talking about. In fact, you contacted me a little while ago saying that you would want to be on air talking about this issue of safe third country. Give us an idea of what prompted your interest and why you felt the need to inform Belizeans and give them your opinions on what this actual policy is about.
Thank you. I do have information that I want to share, but I also have questions, for the citizens of Belize and their opinions about this whole policy. It is really, as somebody, one is an immigrant to the United States. I'm living here for almost 50 years at this point. But also, as an immigration advocate, as an immigration attorney, I am deeply, deeply troubled by the policy because, for some reason, there's really rarely an instance where the United States gets involved with a country like Belize where it's good, where it benefits Belize. This is, at this point, this so-called safe third country policy is really inures to the benefit of the U.S., right? Because it is their policy to get rid of people without going through legal process. And people think deportation and they think, oh, they can just pick you up and send you anywhere. But the term deportation is a legal process where you have to go through the courts in order to be removed from this country once you have entered and applied for asylum or gotten a visa or gotten a green card, and so on. And one of the reasons I'm so troubled about this policy is that it is contrary to international law. It is contrary to U.S. Federal law. It's contrary to U.S. immigration law. Mm-hmm. And the way that they're framing the idea of safe third country is not the way that it is defined in the law, right? A safe third country is defined as a country where a foreign national has stopped before arriving in the U.S. So in that instance, Belize does not fit that definition. And I'm so troubled by the policy. But then I was really disappointed when I heard that Belize got involved. right? This is my homeland. The Trump administration is deeply racist and is applying this law in a very racist way, right? It's not just we're gonna choose people from wherever who have this kind of background, who are here without permission and so on. It's a broad sweep of people who, some of them do have legal status. You know, some people have temporary protected status, TPS. Haitians, Venezuelans, you know, those kinds of people, they have those protections. They have, under TPS, you have the right to stay in this country until such right is taken away. Yet they are removing TPS without the approval of any court. In fact, the Supreme Court has said, no, you cannot do it. But as is typical of this administration, it continues to push its agenda regardless of what the highest court in this country has dictated. And so that Belize has gotten involved with that. I am really concerned about whether they're aware of this, about how in this sort of broad racial way that they're incorporating this law, that they're implementing this law, because it's not being implemented against Europeans. It's being implemented against Latinos, Black people, people of African descent, Middle Eastern people. You know, so these are the kinds of questions that I have. Do Belizeans understand that this is what's happening? I get it that in our home country we don't understand the way that race is used in the U.S. It's weaponized, right? And so racial categories are formed in order to be racist, in order for the government to apply racist policies and so on. And that's from time immemorial. You know, it's since they brought Africans into this country, into this part of the world. So given that I think that most Belizeans don't understand, unless you've lived here, don't understand how race is applied and how racism works, that this policy is really hugely problematic because it is being applied in a racial way. And one of the goals, right, is to get rid of people of color, but especially to get rid of Latino people, right? And so when I say that, of course, a very broad definition of Latino. So people out of Latin American countries. And why that is because now there is this panic of by European Americans that they're going to be minoritized, right? We are going to be a minority. Oh my gosh, we've always been a majority, and now look at these Latinos coming in here. They're prolific. They have all these children, and they're going to be the majority, and you know we're screwed. So that's the mentality, and so that is why this policy is being implemented the way that it is. And before, you know, Belize is one of the few countries that they have chosen. First, it was El Salvador, and then there's several small African nations, and so they choose these places because they think that they can put one over on them, right? And when I read the policy, one of the things that says is that Belize will have the I'm going to grab the direct quote because I don't want to misquote. It says Belize is going to have basically the wherewithal, the decision to pick and choose who comes into their country.
That's what we're told, yeah.
Right, and that is going to last probably the first or second attempt that they make. At the end of the day, the U.S. is trying to get rid of undesirables, right? And so my concern is that they are going to dump, and I'm not apologizing for using that word. They're going to dump people, so-called undesirable people, into smaller societies that cannot handle those people. So people with criminal convictions, gang members, you know, that kind of thing. Undesirable for the U.S., but why not just put them in a place where we don't really care about anyway? You know, and Belize is on that list. Belize was never has not been very much in the American radar. I mean, except for tourism, right? But so now we're in a situation where they're fooling the people. I think I suspect that that government officials in Belize do understand that, but I'm not concerned about them. I am concerned about the people, right? And how they're going to handle that. I haven't been to Belize in a long time. I don't know what your capacity there is for
let me
for
tell
managing.
Let me tell you how it's being sold. It's being sold in this way, that these persons, in fact, are not criminals. They are persons who want to get asylum in the United States. And the United States is saying that they are making arrangement with other countries, third countries, us being one of them, I think Jamaica also, and that these people's asylum process will be done in our countries. And if they are passed through, then these are the individuals that will be brought into the US. The propaganda is that, look, the asylum process in the United States is a very expensive process with hiring extra judges and legal representation and et cetera, and so instead of us crowding up our country, United States, with these asylum seekers, we're going to send them into a third country where they'll be processed, and then when our government, and I've not heard Belize say this, but when we finish processing them, then they will be allowed to go back in the United States. I will say this also, that our foreign minister here has said that they are only going to take 10 individuals at a time, and we've already had the first cohort to come, and they were Asians. Haitians.
They were what? Haitians or Asians?
Haitians. Because apparently our foreign ministry has said that we will only take people from this area. We're not going to take people from Africa or wherever. We are only going to confine it to those who are in this particular region. And we've already received, I believe, 5 or 6 of them came in, and some of them decided that they would not take advantage of this, and they went back to Haiti, and I think we only have 1 or 2 in that first group. So speak to us about, because you're giving us a much broader background than our government has been explaining to us. This is a very, very important issue. It was only given a very short time, short media time, and it's now being activated. That's why our interview with you is so important, because you're sharing a broader picture of it. So I'll go back to you.
Thank you. I'm not surprised that Haitians are who they sent, right? Because that's who they're trying to get rid of. Haitians were given TPS. It's now been, it hasn't ended, but it's been paused, and it's during that pause period that they're sending them out of the country. And the Supreme Court of the United States, the highest court in this country, has said, no, you cannot do that. They've been denied stripping Haitian nationals of temporary protected status, yet they're sending them anyway. So those are illegal deportations. And if you all notice who's coming in, you will see there will be no people of European descent who will be sent from here. In fact, they're bringing them in from South Africa. And that's all about what the Trump administration's agenda is about, right? It's about padding the numbers of white people, because they are in a panic about about future minoritized status. And so getting rid of people of African descent out of this country is a part of that agenda, getting rid of Latinos. With people of African descent, the least desirable, right? And so incentivizing a program like that for a country like Belize that's the point. They're saying, well, we'll give you money to help build your infrastructure. We'll give you money for this. I wonder whether that funding is inuring to the benefit of the people of Belize, or where is that money going? If I were living there, that's one of the questions I would ask. Beyond worrying about vetting of the people that are coming in, I want to know where the funds are going. Are they being used to build our roads and so on? To me, from my perspective, it's dirty money, because everything that's happening under this policy is illegal. It's illegal. It's not been proved by the Supreme Court. They've been denied removing people in that way. Like I said in the very beginning, the definition of safe third country is being blurred, and that is what this administration does.
Can you tell us?
It is.
Can you tell us legally what is the proper definition? In other words, that is on the law books of the United States, this safe third country. What was it intended for? Not how it's being used, but what was it originally intended to do?
Yeah, it's what I said in the beginning, right? Is that it was intended for people who were coming out of the country where they claimed persecution, and they, before landing in the U.S., they stopped in a safe third country, in a country where that would not return them to their original country of persecution. It wouldn't, and they would be safe there. So, for example, if you had somebody who was a part of some guerrilla organization in Guatemala trying to get into the United States to ask for asylum, but they stopped in Belize first, right? Is that a safe third country for them? That's a legal term. If they went through El Salvador, is that a safe third country for them? So all that has to be vetted, though, by the U.S. Because somebody, foreign national coming out of, let's say Brazil, who was a freedom fighter, whatever, comes through a place like Guatemala, we don't know that that's a safe third country, which is why they have to, when they get to the U.S., it's got to be defined. So it's not just, this is a safe third country. That is subjective according to each immigrant that is being vetted. And so you can't make this broad, sweeping definition of that. Of that per person. So when they're sending Haitians to Belize, you're saying, is that a safe third country for those Haitians? No, it's not, because unless they came through there before they got to the U.S., right? And it can be proved that they would be okay if they were there. Problem for those Haitians that have returned to Haiti, it becomes very difficult for them now to come back to the U.S. because if they have applied for asylum out of Haiti, when you apply for asylum out of a country, out of your home country, you can't go back there. Right. Exactly. And if you do, then they're saying, well, then you're not unsafe there if you've gone there. So it gets very, very murky. I don't know what these people applied for. I think they may have gotten TPS, they may have gotten asylum. It depends. But the definition, like I said, and I'm gonna beat that dead horse. The definition of safe third country is being blurred, and it's being used to the benefit of this administration. And the fact that Belize has gotten involved with that without, I don't know if they understand. I don't know who was signing these agreements, but whether they understand the definition of that term. And even if they do understand the definition of the term, and they're getting involved and they're allowing people to come in, I am concerned about how the law is being applied. I'm concerned about the funding that's behind that. Whether there isn't, has Belize received any funding? There needs to be transparency, I think, with the people to say, well, this is the money that we have received from the United States, and this is how it's being applied.
In fact, that was one of my questions, is that if those persons are here and their process is going to take 2 or 3 years, are they being given money to sustain themselves, or are they going to become a part of our labor market? What are the legal costs involved in processing them, and who foots the bill? We have not, at least I did not hear exactly what the financial repercussions are in going through a process like this, just that we are going to be receiving these individuals.
Yeah, no, I think there's got to be more transparency. Belizeans are entitled to that. They're entitled to ask questions of the government as to be a little bit more transparent about what's happening with this process. And this idea that once they get processed in Belize, what are they being processed for? Once they get processed in Belize and they'll be returned here, that is not true at all. That is not true at all. People have been deported to certain African countries. They've been deported to Afghanistan. They've been removed from this country legally, and they are not coming back. They've been put into countries that are not their countries. Right, and that's why they're trying to use the safe third country definition. Yeah, it's okay because we're not returning them to a place where they've been persecuted. So that's a safe third country. That is completely backwards. They've never set foot in Belize, so it does not fit the definition. The idea that they're going to be returned after they've been processed, that sounds very, very suspicious to me, because what is Belize processing them for? Are they processing them for asylum in Belize or asylum in the U.S.?
That's the
right.
question.
If it's asylum if it's asylum in Belize, then they can't come to the U.S. because it's not, they're not getting asylum in the U.S.
It's a different law.
And why would they process people for asylum in the U.S. in a third country? That's very weird.
Yes. Yeah, I wondered that also. If it is, in fact, that they're going to the United States seeking asylum, then we have a completely different legal system. How could we be the ones to process their desire to be in asylum in the United States when we are the ones here that is holding them? It's murky. It's not clear exactly what will happen. And I'm glad that you're bringing it forward, because I do think it needs to get back on the front burner so that we could more clearly understand as a sovereign country exactly what we're getting ourselves involved in.
Yeah, no, the U.S., especially under this administration, and I think it's U.S. Imperialism, the imperialistic style that the U.S. has had forever. But under this administration, it's way worse. And this idea that they can just take people and put them in whichever country they choose is a big part of the problem, right? And it is costing, from the American side, it's costing Americans billions of dollars, this whole process. And yeah, so I just have questions. I have questions for Belizeans, what they're thinking, what are they feeling? Are they do they have access to ask these questions? When is the next batch of people coming? I would want to know. I mean, I know that that processing of individual cases involves confidentiality, but there is something that the Belizean government can tell the people about what the process is all about, how it is being implemented. You know, I have all these questions for the government, and why is it that they've agreed to this process without consulting the people, right? Because I don't know how many people they're going to send there. I know that they've sent thousands of people into other places, and the idea is to send more.
Yeah.
Right. And like I said, we are
being told in Belize that we are going to limit it to 10 over a period, and that we're not going above that 10. And I believe it's within a year or two that we will not go above that amount. So I can see that our government is doing what it can to maneuver, because we're dealing with this big brother, and we have to, you know, we are put in a very awkward position as a developing country, depending so much on U.S. assistance and help, and they have so many ways in which they can block us and intimidate us, that we are, you could see that our foreign ministry is trying to navigate it so that we're not in an embarrassing situation. So we have accepted it, and you may know that we're also being pressured to get rid of our Cuban brothers and sisters who are here as medical brigade, because the United States has said that these people are being exploited and that we should get rid of them and put them out and send them back to Cuba, which is, you know, kind of, you know, it's a backway argument in my opinion. But these are the kinds of pressures that are on us here, so that when Rubio comes into the region, he doesn't come in to ask, he comes in to tell. And that puts us in a very awkward, very, very awkward position. But Doctor, I want to ask you another question, really, because you mentioned it twice, and I don't think that a lot of Belizeans are aware of this, that American establishment is very concerned that the one-time white majority of the United States within a couple of decades will no longer be a majority, and they are very concerned that brown people, apparently they are more concerned about Mexican Americans and so-called Latin Americans overpopulating that country, and so they are doing everything that they can to stymie that type of growth. Can you comment on that?
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's it's a well-known fact now. 25 years ago when I first heard that about the increasing minoritization of white people in the United States, I doubted it. I scoffed at that. I was like, "Are you kidding me? There's so many of them. They're always going to be the majority." So it's been known for a really long time that that's coming. The train has left the station, and they blame immigration, right? And when in fact, if you're not indigenous to this country, then you come from immigrant roots. This country was built on that. And so, but the power that the majority has, in this country is really important to them, and they fear losing that power. They fear losing the idea of their own aesthetics being at the top of the chain and so on. And so immigration policy is a part of that. Immigration policy is a small part of that war, right? There's the abortion policies. There are all kinds of policies that they are implementing in order to maintain their status. And so I think that most people outside the U.S. don't understand that. And outside the U.S., when you say American, people typically think of a white person, right? And so they don't think about people who look like me for sure, and people who are Africans or Latinos or from the Middle East. So in this country and outside this country, people that look like us, brown people like us, we're all brown and black people like us. We are all we're seen as foreign. Even if we have deep roots. African Americans have been here longer than most white people have been here, right? And so African Americans have deep, deep roots in this country, but they are still being told go back to Africa, right? And so it's the policy is racist. It is part of a panic that's happening through Caucasians in this country and so on. And so they have now, which is why they elected the president that they did, right? And that person understands what the job is. He knows what the assignment is, and part of the assignment is use whatever means necessary to get rid of brown people from this country, including, and it's not just people with temporary protected status or people seeking asylum or people in temporary situations. It's also people who have become citizens, right? So that's how deep it's going. Citizenship, people being stripped of citizenship in the United States is a rare. It's a rare policy that's ever implemented, but this current administration is even trying to go there and trying to make it, use that with a broad brush stroke. So all of it, most of it anyway, is racist, is race-based, is part of a panic of white minoritization, and I think that Belizeans need to understand that is what they've gotten involved with, right? And I think that's critical for us to understand.
What should we?
So those are the questions.
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. What should we understand about the way in which the United States was able to deport people into El Salvador? I'm not only talking now about emptying their prisons and sending it to that infamous prison in El Salvador, but we remember an American from El Salvador. It became a big thing in the news where even the Supreme Court had to kick in and force them to bring that man back into the United States. They were making all kinds of accusations about him, but it was a similar situation, wasn't it? To send that young man into El Salvador. I know, send that young man into El Salvador. Can you comment on that? What happened? What happened? All right, good. We'll try to reconnect and bring Professor Williams back in. Let's take the break.
So it started off like any other summer day in Belize. I decided to go down to Builders Hardware since I heard they had 25% off on summer outdoor products. I got a couple of items, a chair, a grill, a cooler, and I got carried away, but the prices were so good. But anyways, I might have gotten comfortable, maybe too comfortable. Then I saw the news, man, the hurricane season was not playing with me. But thank God, builders also had 25% off hurricane preparedness items as well. Flashlights, batteries, sealant, first aid kits, everything I need. And guess what? My grill survived.
We are modernizing assessment through the National Student Assessment System, strengthening teacher professional development in digital pedagogy and STEAM education, and also advancing reforms in technical and vocational education and training so that more young people develop the practical skills required for emerging industries.
I was amazed how these girls were working together because many of them didn't know each other at no point. And through this 2 weeks program, they managed to create these strong bonds. And they came up with problems that they were identifying out in the community, right? Problems with the environment, problems with climate change. It was such a wonderful experience, with seeing how these girls can take such simple tasks to great heights.
On the first day, I fell in love with the robots and stuff we were making, like wind turbines, and that really caught my attention. So I think when I go into third form, I would go in the science instead of the business because I really wanted to take business, but now I think of it, I really want to go into science now because it's so fun.
We wanted to spark that interest and motivation in girls so that they're able to go into STEAM careers and they're able to then jump into various aspects of or what we call skill pathways. So the goal beyond this festival is for us to then build a nice network, a support network, a commitment network, so that the stakeholders who were willing to be with us can continue that journey with the girls.
Nando's Wholesale is your market leader in Belize's wholesale industry when it comes to high-quality products at the most reasonable and competitive prices. With over 40 years in the wholesale business, Nando's Wholesale embraces the partnership of the hotel industry in Belize by providing world-renowned brands in wines, seasonings, condiments, and cleaners in industrial sizes, as well as small and large kitchen appliances and equipment. Nando's also takes pride in providing one of the quietest and most durable air conditioning systems in Belize with technical support and spare parts. Nando's Wholesale. Professional, reliable, effective, and prompt. Nando's Wholesale always delivers. Visit us at www.nandos.bz or send an email to nandos@nandos.bz. Or, even better yet, give us a call today at 222-500 or 280-8080 to speak to one of our sales representatives today.
So do you think we got a deal?
No one should be up at this time. If you're still up, it's not you. It's your mattress. Because the right mattress changes everything. Sherwood Bedding Luxury Resort Pillow Top Mattress. Sleep better, wake better. Available at Design Depot. All in one place.
The success of my business means a lot to my family, especially my brother, because I'm continuing his legacy, making butterfly art collages. It was very hard for me to receive payments. I had to go directly to meet the person I'm purchasing from and who I'm selling to receive payment. Because I opened my business account with Atlantic Bank, now I can make and receive payments online, and this has made my job much easier.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together. Have a vision? We've got what you need. From idea to install, Brothers Habet, all your building needs under one roof.
Stay connected in the USA for as low as $10. With Smart Roaming Data Pass, staying connected is simple and affordable. Get the data you need starting at 1,000 megabytes to stay connected to larger plans that keep you online while you travel across the USA. So you can message, browse, video call, and navigate wherever you go. No SIM swap, no bill shock. Just simple, affordable pricing. Activate easily by dialing *100# using the Smart app or online. Smart Roaming Data Pass. Staying connected the smart way. Smart, bringing people together.
Amandala is now online. You can now access Amandala's midweek and weekend issues online by logging on to our website at amandala.com.bz/news and joining our membership portal today. There's 5 easy steps to get unlimited access to weekly e-paper, archive publications, and a host of other exclusive contents. Number 1, go to Amandala's website. Number 2, navigate to subscribed areas. Number 3, choose a membership level. Number 4, check out using our secured portal. Number 5, log into the members only section. Telephone numbers 501-280-4703 or 202-4477. Fax us at 501-222-4702, or you could email at amandalapress@yahoo.com or amandalapress@gmail.com. Amandala, all power to the people.
right, welcome back. This is WUB, Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. We thank Professor Williams for weighing in like that. Unfortunately, she has a class to teach, and so we had to end that abruptly. We are going to get back with her, and we'll continue the conversation. What she has asked is if there are some questions that our viewers and listeners have that you could pass on to me, that I would pass on to her, so that when we come back, we can ask her some more direct questions reflecting your concern on this issue. I've just said to a government official who texted me that one of the problems that we have, and I say it even with this BTL acquisition issue, is that somehow government does not understand that people have a right to know. This is not an option if you want to it. We have a right to know, because if we are operating so-called democratic process, we in fact are at the top of this pyramid, not at the bottom. We're at the top of the pyramid, meaning that it is we who elect you, and then you are responsible to us. But you've switched it around and put us at the bottom. You're doing similar to what the colonial establishment used to do, that you got this elitist group at the top with the assumption that the people at the bottom, we just tell them what they need to know. We're not going to get them involved because they don't even think. That's a back way thinking of a concept of democracy. The democracy process puts the people at the top. You are elected by us. The unfortunate thing is that the way that we work this process is that we only bring you in when we feel like you're mechanized and you want to know. You should be informing us way ahead of time. So, on this matter and on other matters, we need to change the paradigm. We need to switch the paradigm so that we can make even the elite ordinary person out there who you think not interested, bring her in and you'll see gets interested when you bring the explanation down to a level where he or she can understand. Of course they can understand these complicated ways in which you legalese everything and make it all these complicated terms which can easily be defined if you're humble enough to break it down to the ordinary people. And then it's not a surprise when you do something. You hear, oh, there's a third country thing, and we made an arrangement with the United States over this, and this is why we're doing it, and this is how we're doing it. Are you afraid that we might jump up when we understand the details, the small print, the little small issues about it? Are you afraid that we might jump up and say, no, we don't want that? Are you afraid? Why? Because maybe you've already made an arrangement with Rubio. You've already made an arrangement with Trump. So you're really just coming to us and telling us, boy, we make an arrangement with these people and this is what you have to accept. Why don't we switch that around and say, Rubio, listen, Trump, you wait a minute, hold on. Make I check with my people and find out if they even want any kind of arrangement like that. Or do they have you twisted up in the side and back up against the wall that you don't get no money from millennium thing and you don't get that 125 million if you don't do that, then you don't. Is that what is going on? Is it that we are so committed to them? We need to rethink how we're running this country. And I'm not coming against the PUP or the UDP. I'm saying that the whole concept of why we were going through this this constitutional exercise, and by the way, what happened with that? How come we don't hear nothing about that? How come then people gone through that whole long exercise of making 100 and something recommendation and we don't hear nothing about that? Why is it that we feel that the people are so dumb, they're so stupid, they're not interested, they only drink and smoke weed and party and bashment, so now you bring them in a no conversation because they're not serious, so they don't understand anyway. If you keep having that kind of attitude, then you're always going to have this background suspicion about your behavior and about your policies, because you're not spending enough time and respecting us and saying, listen, we have a right to let you people, or you people have a right to know, and it is our responsibility as government That's why we hire them people in a public relation. You know how much media people are working in every department? And what are they responsible for? Press release? Why don't you have these people come on air and saying, listen, I'm explaining to you, and these are the details of what it is. Look at this broadcasting situation here, where you had Miss Melissa Longsworth, the attorney, very qualified and very much able to talk and explain this broadcasting, the changes in the Broadcasting Authority law. You know how much days I have been spending trying to get the Broadcasting Authority to please come on the air and let us look at some of the fine details, and they're bouncing me around, and I call this one and I can't get this one, and this one no one come on the air. What's wrong with you? How are you going to implement the laws that is going to affect us and our way of life, and we don't have to know? This is wrong. We've got to change that paradigm and let it be known that we tile the Alan Barton thing, man. The Alan Barton thing mean, and you know what Alan Barton do. He don't take the toilet paper, he do it afterwards. So we need to be able to break these matters down before we do what we do. That's how we do it. We don't wait until there's a crisis. We don't wait until there's a dilemma, and then we have to run behind trying to explain to the people something that we could have explained to them a long time ago. So I'm saying that this matter of the safe third country concept is not a new one. And I don't have any reason to, and I'm not disparaging my brother Francis. I have great love and respect for that man. That man, to me, has great integrity. But that does not excuse the government from saying, listen, we are discussing with the United States this idea of a third. We don't sign the agreement with, but this is some of the implications of it. We want to think about that. How want to feel about that? What do you think would happen with that? Then we can start asking some questions. Well, how would it work? And what would be the implications? What would it cost us? How many people would be involved? Give me a best practice of how it has worked in other countries. Give us the choice to be able to say, well, maybe we could, but at least you could go with confidence and say, I implemented a policy because I got feedback and I know that this is the way that this should be done. No, you don't do it like that. You talk with people with your legalese and all them kind of thing, and you bring in these consultants, and then you make it, and then you bring it to we. And then it's a fait accompli. It's already done. You just take it, that's the way it is, and no bother me. Going back to your drinking and your smoking and your bashment and your dance, that's all you're interested in. And want to leave handout every time you come to me, you want to lead this and you want to lead that. That's all you are as a public. And oh, by the way, election they come up, so we have to go and spend time with you and get in your house and sit down and eat some of your pibil and then say, oh yeah, okay, good. We'll get the vote from you. That's all you're using the people for. That's not what this thing is all about. I remember in the old days, it was a situation where you had these public meetings. Maybe you're not old enough to remember that because that seems to have faded out of our democratic process. But there was a time where at Courthouse Wharf, the ordinary people would feel welcome to go sit down, carrying a stool out there sometime. I could remember I used to go out there with my auntie. We'd go out and sit down, feel that nice cool breeze, and then you listen to politicians trying to articulate what they intend to do and what the British they do and what the Americans they do and etc. But we felt informed. We felt like we knew we could carry from that public meeting to each other and say, what do you think about what Priceman they say? What do you think about what Goldsmith they say? What do you think about what Richardson they say? We don't got that now. All we got now are commercials which are costing $15,000 for you to do your commercial, and if you don't got $15,000, well, they don't know. But I can't afford to tell them. We got to do something about that kind of process. That is not the kind of process that you can call democracy. Democracy is not a vote every 5 years. Democracy is not personality and, boy, I like him, I like how he smile, and, oh, I only like how he talk. And no, That's not democracy. Democracy is bringing issues down to the level where the ordinary person, if he's interested, he can know. If you're not interested, we may not deal with him. But there are people who are very, very, very interested in what's going on in our country, and we have the right to know, and the fourth estate, which are the media, has a right to question you and to get details, because they too, or I should say, we too, are responsible for educating the public, engaging the public, and making sure that every policy that is being implemented in this country, people are aware of it. We'll take our next break.
We are modernizing assessment through the National Student Assessment System, strengthening teacher professional development in digital pedagogy and STEAM education, and also advancing reforms in technical and vocational education and training so that more young people develop the practical skills required for emerging industries.
I was amazed how these girls were working together because many of them didn't know each other at no point. And through this 2 weeks program, they managed to create these strong bonds. And they came up with problems that they were identifying out in the community, right? Problems with the environment, problems with climate change. It was such a wonderful experience, with seeing how these girls can take such simple tasks to great heights.
On the first day, I fell in love with the robots and stuff we were making, like wind turbines, and that really caught my attention. So I think when I go into third form, I would go in the science instead of the business, because I really wanted to take business, but now I think of it, I really want to go into science now because it's so fun.
We wanted to spark that interest and motivation in girls so that they're able to go into STEAM careers, and they're able to then jump into various aspects of or what we call skill pathways. So the goal beyond this festival is for us to then build a nice network, a support network, commitment network, so that the stakeholders who were willing to be with us can continue that journey with the girls.
I've always been fascinated with gemstones. It's all about taking nature's beauty and creating something uniquely beautiful. I've had inspiration from the Belize Blue Bull, the beaches, the jaguar. I've launched a new product called Co-Design with Deb, and Atlantic Bank's e-commerce system has opened the door to my international customers so I can receive payments so they can have their custom pieces shipped to them.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Nando's Wholesale is your market leader in Belize's wholesale industry when it comes to high-quality products at the most reasonable and competitive prices. With over 40 years in the wholesale business, Nando's Wholesale embraces the partnership of the hotel industry in Belize by providing world-renowned brands in wines, seasonings, condiments, and cleaners in industrial sizes, as well as small and large kitchen appliances and equipment. Nando's also takes pride in providing one of the quietest and most durable air conditioning systems in Belize with technical support and spare parts. Nando's Wholesale. Professional, reliable, effective, and prompt. Nando's Wholesale always delivers. Visit us at www.nandos.bz or send an email to nandos@nandos.bz. Or, even better yet, give us a call today at 222-500 or 280-8080 to speak to one of our sales representatives today.
So it started off like any other summer day in Belize. I decided to go down to Builders Hardware since I heard they had 25% off on summer outdoor products. I got a couple of items, a chair, a grill, a cooler, and I got carried away, but the prices were so good. But anyways, I might have gotten comfortable, maybe too comfortable. Then I saw the news, man, the hurricane season was not playing with me. But thank God, Builders also had 25% off hurricane preparedness items as well. Flashlights, batteries, sealant, first aid kits, everything I need. And guess what? My grill survived.
Whether you are a busy person or stuck in traffic or having an adverse or very demanding circumstance, tension builds up, causing you to be stressed out. Stress attacks everyone, anytime, any age. And stress is a killer. Palm City? It's best to be alive than dead. So visit Freetown Drugstore to get options to relieve stress and to relax your mind.
Yes, sir. What can I do for you today?
I'm so stressed out.
Okay, I'm going to help you right now. When I this daily, for 10 days, I am good after that, okay?
Okay.
Freetown Drugstore, 28 Freetown Road, where you are better off alive than dead. Freetown Drugstore, telephone 223-2876.
All right, welcome back. This is WUB, Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. Our phone number 280-5848. And we welcome your call. As I said, we thank Professor Williams for taking the time out. She had a class, actually, and she had just that window. But she said some things that are very, very useful to us. Our number here is 280-5848. 280-5848 if you would like to weigh in on any of the issues that we've been talking about. But there are other issues likewise. The matter of what's going on in the ICJ, and the disagreement with the justices and the critique of the president of the ICJ, unprecedented. We have not seen that before, but clearly that is important. But it does require having some understanding of how the court works. And why would that be important? Apparently, it was an internal memo that was leaked, and as it started, if I understand the readings, with the judges being told that they have to have a certain dress code, and that might have been the straw that broke the camel's back, to use that term. And there were other things that they were concerned about, particularly a criticism that the process is not a democratic process. We continue to use that word democracy, don't we? In so many areas. The concept really is saying that we don't go by dictatorship. And it evolves from a time when the king and the sovereign meant an individual and his family. And that's why we used to say the sovereign, and it used to understand the sovereign to mean the king. And after the Magna Carta, which was as a result of people going into the streets and saying, hell no, that entire process was changed to say that the people at the street level, even though they are peasants and they are vagabonds and they are ordinary common people, that they also have a right to decide where they're going. That was over a couple of 100 years ago, and so there's been a long process of trying to define that concept of, do we listen to the masses of the people, or only an elite group capable of really taking us where we need to go? And so the compromise has been, why we need them people, you know. So we have to find out how to make them think that we do what they want we do. So we go through a process that we call election. And the election supposedly is that they will have a choice to select who will lead over them. But somehow When the election process is going on, they belong to the people. They are part of the people. You know me, boy. Me and you used to go to school together, man. You remember, yeah, you vote for me. When I get in there, I want to do what you want to do. I want to do the things that we used to talk about. But somehow, when they reach that plateau, they flip the page. They switch. They become something else. They become the same old thing that we were trying to avoid, which was that elitist kingship, that I know better than you, or you don't know who me. That's why that you can't call Bert Simon again. You know, once Bert Simon become elected, you better make sure you put Honorable Bert Simon in front of Bert Simon. You better make sure you say Minister Bert Simon. You can't come to me anymore and say, yeah, what are you going, Bert? What? You can call me Bert? Don't you know who I am? I am now minister. But boy, me and you used to sit on the toilet together. I used to lend you my toilet paper, boy. I used to give you part of my toilet paper. Now all of a sudden, you're the big man now. And so there's I know I'm making it a little crude here, but I'm trying to communicate. I'm trying to say that we have flipped the switch. Instead of now us working on behalf of the people to serve the people, we have all of a sudden become an elite group. And we know better. We know better. These are things that we can't share with you because you can't decipher it anyway. So just leave it up to us. We know better than you. That's the kingship concept all over again. That we are the elite. We are the group that is, better than you. And it's not only at the political level, it's also at several other levels, like lawyers. Man, we treat lawyers like they're an esteemed above everybody else group. And they create a culture where they don't even walk among us. When last time you see one lawyer, really one of them big time lawyer that walk around you on the street? No. I'm not to be seen walking in the street with you. I have to be in a rolled up car and air conditioned, and I'm above you. That's why I charge you so much, so that I can live this life that is separate from you, so that when you see me, you stand to attention because I am better than you. So I know that I am sort of mocking the process in a sense, but I'm not mocking to be disdainful. I'm not doing it to be disrespectful. I'm only trying to be graphic so that we could understand that this process of ensuring democracy does not mean that we play a game with people and tell them that we work for you, we are representing you, we are up here, but we up here for a time, No. We flip the switch and we really literally believe that we are better than you. We are above you. And don't you dare come at me as if you are equal to me, because you are not equal to me. There's something wrong with that. There's something wrong with that. And so when we see people saying, no, people have the right, we need to encourage people to be involved, and people have a right to be a part of the process of consultation, etc. So you try to bring socialism in, man. You got communist tendencies. That communism you try to bring. This is not communism. This is the concept of democracy. It is the concept that says that people have a right to know because you to work for me. So yes, he's Mr. Briseno, but he's Johnny too. Yes, he's Honorable Cordell, but the Cordell too. So all of them, man, they're honorable in front of their name, and they ride around in their vehicles, and I barely could talk to you except during election time. Then the ordinary people who used to walk the street before, they became who they became. So I'm just saying the reality check is that if we want this thing to create less tension, less animosity, less confrontation, then let's start by informing the people, and not say they don't understand, because every big word has synonyms. Every big word can be broken down into smaller change. We could blend it down so that the ordinary person is able to understand. And if you want to say, oh, I'm talking to a child mind, that's all right. As long as you don't disrespect, we broke it down in a small change. I was told very years ago by a very wise man, God's peace be upon him. He said, look, whenever you talk to a group, Nuri, try to talk to the ordinary people, because the people there up the top used to be ordinary. And only because of their arrogance that they're acting like they're not ordinary. So if you speak to them, you leave out the ordinary people. So talk your language to the ordinary people so that they, highty-tighty, can come down to a level because they won't understand. They will disparage you and they say, well, why you talk so crude and why do you act so ordinary? Yeah, all right. But you will have communicated to that group because you're speaking the language that any ordinary person can understand. That's why this radio and this particular media house has been the way it is. Because starting way, way back over almost 60 years ago, it started as a people's movement. It communicated it communicated to people in ordinary language. The newspaper that is over 50 to almost 60 years is known for it speaking ordinary language to ordinary people, from the editorial to the publisher to the people who write in the paper. They were always aimed at trying to speak to ordinary people and not to elitist people. Don't mean that they couldn't use 10-letter words and 15-letter words and impress you with big language. But it was the intent of this movement back here to talk to people who can understand and appreciate, because you represent the people. You are talking on behalf of the people. So make sure that your language and your sentences are ways that is not complicated, that only a few elite people who understand high-level vocabulary are able to understand what you're saying. And the same thing goes for running your country and your system. It's not socialism. It's making sure that the ordinary people that you work for are able to be a part of the process, and that you're not treating them like children saying, you don't understand, so just be quiet, follow me, I want to lead you. No. No. You back up on that and begin to give us a chance to be engaged in the process, because ultimately you are temporary. We are permanent. Let's take our last break.
Stay connected in the USA for as low as $10. With Smart Roaming Data Pass, staying connected is simple and affordable. Get the data you need starting at 1,000 megabytes to stay connected, to larger plans that keep you online while you travel across the USA, so you can message, browse, video call, and navigate wherever you go. No SIM swap, no bill shock. Just simple, affordable pricing. Activate easily by dialing *100# using the Smart app or online. Smart Roaming Data Pass. Staying connected the smart way. Smart, bringing people together.
Noksha Adventure Park came about from the birth of COVID. Everything was on pause for tourism. So we decided, let's do something different. We got 10 bikes, 10 ATVs, and we were just doing ATV tours. Shortly after, we were approached by the cruise lines. We agreed to work with them, and from them it just started growing. We set up the chocolate tour first, and then from there we went into the culinary experience at the different Mayan cultures. We have like the gift shop, the cooking class, the shaman, and the healing, and it just all came together. When you reach a certain point, you need investors, you need partners to come into your business. Atlantic Bank does make it easy. Even my 7-year-old could do it.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Every great job starts at Brothers Habet, with the best supplies and the right support, including free delivery on site, so you can focus on the job. Brothers Habet, working with contractors since 1983.
All right, we've come to the end of our show for this morning, and we appreciate your presence. We thank Professor Sharon Williams for her input this morning, always enlightening, and she always leaves us with things to think about. And if you have any questions, you can always contact me, and I will, make sure I pass it on to her. I did invite her to come back perhaps next week or maybe the week after. This is not a story that will go away. It's something that is ongoing, and so we will hear from her. We will also invite a representative from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and also from the Immigration Department, since the Immigration Department is the implementer. We will also invite someone from the UNHCR, that is the UN group that deals with refugees. We want to know. We have a right to know. And so we will ask these persons. But I want to say again that some years ago there was a discussion on the fact that things were happening in government and we didn't know what was happening. And I'm not sure which one of the governments, whether the red or the blue, decided that they would begin to hire media persons, people who would be responsible of explaining policies, so that it would not always be the responsibility of a minister to come in front of the media and to explain a policy, but that they would have individuals who are qualified. So that the police department at one time had G. Michael Reed, who did an absolutely exceptional job. Then you had Brother Yearwood, exceptional job of unpacking and decoding, so to speak, policies that were being implemented by the police department, which would save the Commissioner of Police and others to explaining what's going on. Attorney Stacey Smith, who is their PR now, is doing an excellent job, but dealing primarily with issues of arrests and who got caught and who never do this. We need explanation of policies. We want to know where make you tick. We want to understand what is your forecast, what are your plans, why are you doing this? We see a policy now of picking up young boy and holding them for 48. What's behind that? Why are you doing that? We are seeing youths that we are working with that are not giving much trouble because we are monitoring them at LIU, but you still pick them up. We would like to know. We have a right to know. If you have certain intelligence that you're saying intelligence is leading us to arrest these guys and hold them just for 48. Holding for 48 means that we're not sending you to jail, we don't even want to charge you. We just hold you, and we have the right according to the law to hold you for that 48 hours, but it's very disruptive. It's particularly disruptive if those individuals, according to LIU, may not really be doing anything. They're cooperating with LIU. So if there's a conflict there, you are responsible for coming and explaining to the public. It's not a secret. It's a secret if there's some big drug operation and, we got planes that come in and you got to have people out there on the watch out. No, but we talk about pick up man, hold man, and then let them go, and then hold man, and then let them go. Why? Explain to us. We may agree with you. We may go along with it, but you're not taking the time. And I'm not talking only there, I'm talking about MIDH. You don't have to wait until Mr. Moody comes on to explain it. We don't need Julius Espat to come and explain these things. You have public relations people that can say, this is what we're doing, this is why we're doing it. We're doing this with this bridge, and this is why we're doing it with that bridge. And we're going to be deterring deterring the traffic in a particular area, and we're doing it because of this. People are informed, they have a right to know. So I'm saying that we are hiring these public relations people, but they have been watered down to memo people. That's all they do is press release, press release, press release. And so that's all that the media can do with these press release is say, according to a press release from this and this ministry, this is what's going on. So we don't really know what's going on in a health and wellness. We don't really know what's going on in public service. We don't know what's going on in any particular ministry because they only react when boy look like people to talk about so on. So better we go out and explain this. Why not be proactive and say we're about to implement a particular policy, and so that's why we've hired and paying these very good salaries to these people. Why don't we bring them and let them be the face of the ministry, explaining these issues and make them qualified enough to be able to answer questions that might be brought forward, and even bring them on a show like this where people are able to call in and ask them, but why this, but how this, and how that work, and what is this? And then people might say, I think I understand now why you're doing this, you see. We have a right to know. So, enough of that. Thank you very much for being with us this morning. We hope that you were able to benefit from this show. We are not an entertainment show. You know, we're not there for just jolly, and we do have some times when we are lighter. But we try to have and engage in conversations that are developmental. Our thinking here is civilizational. We are thinking that we are a civilization here in Belize and the Caribbean, and that we are trying to build something that our children can inherit, and not say 30 years later, boy, we deal with the exact same thing we made to deal with 30 years ago. That means we're not civilizational, we're not developmental. We're just regurgitating and circling the same problem, the same difficulties without any kind of change. We ought not to be like that. That's a pot of stock. We need to be able to say that what we're laying here is a foundation where others will come. This is why sometimes young people don't have much interest in politics, you know. Because they've dismissed politics as a game, as a get-rich process, as a who-you-know process. They don't see the sacredness of leadership. They don't understand that leaders are people who represent God. Leadership represents God. And if you're not answerable to a higher power, then you do all kind of craziness. You do all kind of stupidness. God, who to watch me? Who to care? I don't have to worry 5 years from now and peel you and some. That's why Ashcroft control me like this. Because he know we're all about just money and pay off election and win election. That's why he beat his chest all the time and said, me put you there. Because you watered the whole sacred process of governance down to who could piss further than the next one, who got more money to go and get this thing done because the other one don't get it. And you're not qualified. You're not really qualified. You sit down and talk to some of them guys with our ministers, you would be shocked to know that, wow, how did he get into that cabinet position with that kind of dunce, with that level of dirt in his mind? So we need to really wheel and come again sometimes, and we need to recognize that we got something sacred going on here. We've been going not just for 45 years, we've been going much longer than that when you understand our history. And this is a sacred land. People know they run from Belize, people they run to Belize. They see something that maybe we don't see. So let's wake up and make sure that we are in fact presenting the beauty of this sacred trust that we have, and make sure that everybody is involved. Belizeans, stand strong, stand firm, and do the right thing. We gone.